Now, White Pine County Daily News with Wyatt Cox.
NKELY News is sponsored by Sahara Motors, the Kawasaki KX450, built out of the box with everything you need to dominate the track. Check it out today at Sahara Motors and let the good times roll. Yesterday's 75-degree high will be the warmest temperature for a while as a cooler and wetter weather pattern is on the way. Look for gathering clouds today. The high expected around 71 degrees with showers and 58 expected tomorrow. Ely City Council will have a special meeting on Thursday at 5 at the Volunteer Fire Hall to approve a city gaming license for a William Hill race and sportsbook kiosk in the Hotel Nevada. Matter on last week's meeting agenda but had to be tabled because of problems in the agenda and paperwork with the hotel's address. The kiosk has already been approved by the State Gaming Commission. White Pine County Sheriff's Office reporting multiple incidents across Ely and the county Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, including 2 felony arrests. On Friday, deputies arrested 40-year-old Joseph Craigle of Ely on charges including burglary, elder abuse, battery on a public officer, and resisting arrest. Bail set at $25,000. On Saturday, 42-year-old Walter Kennedy taken into custody after a reported stabbing in Ely. He faces charges of domestic battery and elder abuse with a deadly weapon. His bail set at $35,000, both innocent until convicted in a court of law. Other calls included a structure fire at an apartment complex that was quickly extinguished, thefts under investigation, and a report of threats against a public official that remains active. Deputies also handled welfare checks, a missing juvenile who was safely located, and several domestic disturbances, most resolved without further incident. Nevada's data center tax break program facing new scrutiny over transparency and cost. Over the past decade, the state has approved about $457 million in tax abatements for major projects tied to companies like Google and Apple. In return, companies projected roughly 300 permanent jobs, $1 billion in new tax revenue, and billions more in economic activity. But the Governor's Office of Economic Development does not track whether those revenue and economic protections are actually met. Instead, it mainly reports on jobs, wages, and construction spending. Critics say that leaves the public with an incomplete picture, especially as tax breaks have reduced local tax collections by more than $500 million since 2017. State officials say they're following Nevada law, but questions remain about oversight and whether companies have too much control about what information is released. Nevada's decades-old term limit law is back in the spotlight as a new legal challenge targets a North Las Vegas candidate. A lawsuit filed earlier this month argues Councilman Scott Black should be barred from running for mayor, claiming he would exceed the state's 12-year limit if elected to a full term. Black, who has served 9 years on the council, says the lawsuit is politically motivated. The case highlights ongoing confusion around Nevada's term limits, first approved by voters in the 1990s. Past rulings and legal opinions have generally allowed candidates to run, even if a full term would push them beyond the limit. Similar situations in Reno and North Las Vegas have gone unchallenged or dismissed in court, leaving a legal gray area that experts say lawmakers have yet to resolve. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for local officials statewide. Turning to sports, the Vegas Golden Knights have made a late-season coaching change, firing head coach Bruce Cassidy and replacing him with veteran bench boss John Tortorella. General Manager Kelly McCrimmon announced the move after Vegas dropped 6 of its last 7 games, that despite still holding a playoff spot in the Pacific Division. Cassidy led the Golden Knights to a Stanley Cup title in 2023, but was dismissed less than 3 years later. Tortorella, a Cup winner with Tampa Bay in 2004, takes over for his 24th season as an NHL head coach. Vegas has struggled since the break for the Olympics, going 5-10-2, prompting the change with just 8 games remaining in the regular season. At 8:20 for Sahara Motors, that's news from White Pine County and the state of Nevada.
You see lots of commercials on television telling you to drive a little and save a lot. Dealers wanting you to drive to Salt Lake, Elko, Reno, and even Las Vegas. But ask them one question. What happens if there's a problem? Do you have to drive 3, 4, or even 6 hours to get service? Here at Sahara Motors in Ely, we service everything we sell right here in White Pine County. Shop here first, get our best deal, and you get that best deal by telling Shauna that Wyatt sent you by. Then if you want, shop other places. When you account for the drive, you'll find that it pays you to be a part of the Sahara Motors family. Stop by Sahara Motors, just about a mile north of Ely on US 93. Sahara Motors, we are White Pine proud.
Tell Shauna Wyatt sent you by.